What is up, everyone? Happy Football Friday. I got to kind of yell a bit louder because of the dryer, in the background, so that's fun. But yeah, we got some news for once. It's been pretty slow. But yeah, we got Steelers, Dolphins, offseason recap. Got Colin on tonight.
What is up, guys?
So, yeah, let's get to it. Oh, if I would have remembered to put the PowerPoint on that would have been good. But gonna start off college football news. Just a little note: Sacramento State trying to get to the FBS level. They were denied by an NCAA committee. The vote. I'm not sure if it was official. I know they said official Wednesday, but I can't remember when that first report came out. So I don't know if it was this Wednesday or this coming Wednesday. Anyways, it looks like the Hornets will not be in the FBS. They were looking to get in next year, which made sense for me, anyways, because Brennan Marion, the new head coach there, he's been getting very quality transfers, and he actually got a couple of solid high school recruits as well in terms of number of stars. But yeah, it looks like Sac State's going to stay in FCS for the time being. UFL news, couple UFL to NFL signings. The Patriots, they signed defenders, offensive tackle Yasir Durant, all UFL selection, pretty solid player the last couple for DC. And the Rams signing a familiar face as well. Durant was in camp with the Pats last year. The Rams, they signed familiar face as well. Showboat's quarterback Dresser Wynn. He was with the Rams for a couple of seasons on their practice squad, now back with LA and Sean McVay, and he's going to likely compete with Stetson Bennett for the QB3 job.
Both solid moves. Good pickups.
Yeah. Interesting, too, on Dresser Wynn, he was the first quarterback signed from the UFL this year. So,
hell yeah.
NFL news, Panini has replaced Reese's as the new sponsor of the Senior Bowl. I hate it. I didn't like it. As some people noted, some scouts and NFL people had started calling it the Reese's game. So I don't know. Preferably, if I was a player, I would want the Reese's versus getting a trading card. I don't know. They were getting free cards anyways because Panini was a sponsor of the Senior Bowl. They just weren't the title sponsor.
I'd rather get a Reese's too. Even like a Reese's piece is kind of hard.
Yeah. The Steelers, QB Aaron Rodgers, saying on the Pat McAfee show this week, likely done after 2025, which was no surprise to most people. I mean, we kind of knew that was coming. And it benefits the Steelers anyways because of what they did in the draft this year.
Solid. I mean, kind of a no-brainer. He's old. He's getting up there. Bring him in. Let him sling the rock around. Let him teach a little bit.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Who knows if it'll be good. It'll be fun.
Bucks getting some extensions done. Head coach Todd Bowles, GM Jason Light, both extended for another couple of seasons. I did not catch the the year on that they're signed to now, but very solid consistency there in Tampa. The Bengals agreeing to a new deal with the city of Cincinnati, keep them in downtown Cincy through 2036. $470 million renovations, includes a 10-year option through 2046 there.
Hopefully they don't have the escalator going down.
Paycor Stadium, there to stay. Suspension. Former Ravens kicker Justin Tucker suspended the first 10 games for violating NFL's personal conduct policy. Not surprised at all in the length of that one. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised now if he is signed, if someone does take a chance to sign him now, because now they know exactly how many games he's going to be out and they can build a plan for the kicking position. Or maybe he doesn't get signed at all. I don't know.
Hopefully
He's already
he
old.
doesn't get signed.
He's already old, and he was declining anyways. Last year was horrific for him, stat-wise.
It wasn't the Justin Tucker we all know, but you'd still take it over most kickers.
Yeah. One release, talk about the Browns releasing edge rusher Ogo Okoronkwo, former sort of big ticket free agent, 3 years, $19 million deal a couple years ago. He was going into the last year of that. And one signing before camp here, the Seahawks, they signed Vikings corner Shaquille Griffin. So Shaq Griffin going to Seattle. All right, not seeing anything else on the X feed. The Mets are getting shellacked right now in Pittsburgh, which is not fun. I should have known to not bet on the Pittsburgh team when we're doing the Steelers offseason here.
Brandon Lau. Both the Lau.
All right, let's get to the Dolphins offseason here. Losses. Quarterback Tyler Huntley's a free agent. Running back Raheem Mostert going to the Raiders. Running back Jeff Wilson's a free agent. Wide receiver Braxton Berrios to the Texans. Wide receiver River Craycraft to the Seahawks. He had gotten injured then and since released. Tight end Durham Smythe to the Bears. Tight end Jack Stoll to the Saints. Offensive tackle Kendall Lamb to the Eagles. Offensive tackle Isaiah Wynn is a free agent. Guard Robert Jones to the Cowboys. Defensive tackle Calais Campbell to the Cards. Edge rusher Emmanuel Ogba to the Jags. Edge Deshaun Hand to the Chargers. Edge Tyus Bowser is a free agent. Linebacker Duke Riley's a free agent. Linebacker Anthony Walker Jr. went to the Bucks. Corner Kendall Fuller is a free agent. Corner Siren Neal went to the 49ers. Safety Javon Holland went to the Giants. Safety Jordan Poyer, long snapper Jake McQuaid, and long snapper Blake Ferguson are all free agents. So, Dolphins lost quite a ton. It's a lot of role players, I think, but at the same time, obviously, they lost some big guys. Javon Holland, obviously, was the massive loss. They couldn't afford him. Calais Campbell, I think, is a big locker room loss. Even though he is still producing, I think he had like 5.5 sacks last year. Emmanuel Ogba, obviously, in the pass rush. And I'm not sure why they haven't re-signed Kendall Fuller. I'll talk about the secondary more in a bit, but that one behooves me on why they have not re-signed him. And obviously the running back depth doesn't really matter. Both those guys older. They got younger the last couple of drafts. So they are still loaded at RB.
Very good at running back. I wouldn't be surprised if Huntley goes back to Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they signed Rush now, so that's the main backup. But anyways, the signings here, quarterback Zach Wilson coming in from the Broncos, running back Alexander Madison from the Raiders, wide receiver Dwayne Eskridge re-signed, wide receiver Nick Westbrook-Akina from the Titans, tight end Pharaoh Brown from the Seahawks, offensive tackle Jackson Carman re-signed, offensive tackle Larry Borum from the Bears, guard James Daniels from the Steelers, center Liam Eichenberg re-signed, defense tackle Matthew Butler from the Raiders, edge rusher Bradley Chubb re-signed, as was edge Cam Good, and linebacker Tyrell Dodson, linebacker KJ Britt from the Bucks, linebacker Willie Gay Jr. from the Saints, corner Kader Kohu re-signed, corner Kendall Sheffield from the Jets, corner Ifeatu Melifonwu from the Lions, corner Artie Burns from the Seahawks, safety Ashton Davis from the Jets, punter Ryan Stonehouse from the Titans, and long snapper Joe Cardona from the Patriots. I was actually pleasantly surprised with the Finns offseason here, the additions. They finally got, I think, more capable backup for Tua. I mean, it had been horrendous the last couple of seasons when Tua's gone down. I think they finally have a decent talent that can actually throw the ball. Wilson played pretty well in Denver. Got coached up by Sean Payton, so going to another offensive mind and Mike McDaniel, I think is good for him. Madison sucks. I don't think he's going to be a factor anyways, potentially, depending on how the running back room shakes out. I like the line additions and re-signings. Obviously had to get Bradley Chubb back. But the thing that I really like here is the linebackers. KJ Britt, Willie Gay re-signing, Dodson. I think that was a solid move. They have solidified the linebacker there. They go 5 deep when you include those 3 guys plus Jordan Brooks and Channing Tindall, 3rd round 2022. So I think linebacker is a strength on that defense for the Dolphins. And the secondary, like I said, I am still not sold on this secondary here. I mean, Kader Kohu is probably, if not the best, one of the best slot nickel backs in the league. My issue is they're trying to trade Jalen Ramsey, right? But who are they going to play? Like, Storm Duck is a starter right now on our lads. Cam Smith at 23 second. They signed Burns, Sheffield, and Melifonwu, who's a safety, by the way, on our lads. So that doesn't even affect the corner position. But yet they're looking at starting 5th rounder Jason Marshall out of Florida, potentially. And then they have a bunch of other guys. I don't see where the production is going to come from at corner. That's why Kendall Fuller makes too much sense for me to re-sign for Miami.
And we all know what Artie Burns is.
He actually didn't play bad in Seattle, though.
They have a good coach up there, though.
Named McDonald now. But yeah, I think it was pretty much a wash, losses and additions. Dolphins draft here. 1st round, defense tackle Kenneth Grant, Michigan, 13th. Guard Jonas Savaiine in the 2nd. Arizona, 37. No 3rd or 4th rounders. Then they had 6 picks after that, 5 through 7. Defense tackle Jordan Phillips, Maryland, 143rd. Corner Jason Marshall Jr., Florida, 150th. I just mentioned. Safety Dante Trader Jr., Maryland, 155th. 6th round, running back Ollie Gordon, the second, Oklahoma State, 179th. 2 7s, quarterback Quinn Ewers, Texas, 231st. And defensive tackle Zeke Biggers, Georgia Tech, 253rd. Kenneth Grant made too much sense for Miami. I had interior D-line as their number one need, and they attacked it very hard. 3 picks at the D-tackle position. I did not like Miami's draft overall, though. They filled 3 of my top 4 needs with, like I said, the 3 D-tackles. Corner was my second need. They got one, but waited till the 5th. And safety they filled was my 4th need. They got Dante Trader, again, not till the 5th, though. Obviously, they only had 2 picks in the first 4 rounds. So you got what you got. But I like the D-tackle pick. Guard, I did not like I love the player, Savainea. Love the player. I did not have guard until the 6th need, and even that was just depth. I didn't see a need for Savainea. Now, they have him starting here. But what is the point of re-signing Liam Eichenberg? I guess they really don't have a ton inside when you look at it. They're moving Jackson Carman inside as well. Yeah, I guess it makes sense when you look at the depth chart, but at the time I made my needs list, it did not make sense to me. Well, it did. Interior depth. I wasn't looking for a starter. But they drafted a starter, so that's fine. And then I didn't have running back or quarterback as needs. So cool. I hated the Ollie Gordon selection. Again, love the player. Like, he's never gonna play.
It doesn't make sense there. Unless he just
absolutely
shows out, but that's.
But they did it last year too, right?
Yeah.
The Jalen Wright selection in the 4th round when they just drafted Achane in the 3rd round in 23. So they've gone 3 straight drafts of drafting a running back now. Achane in the 3rd and 23, Jalen Wright in the 4th and 24, and Ollie Gordon this year in the 6th. So those 3 should be the guys. I mean, for the next couple of years. It's really, though, are they going to keep 4 and keep Madison? That's the biggest thing, I think. It's going to be Gordon versus Madison. And then if they keep 3 or 4, that's the issue as well. And then Ewers, though, I do like the Ewers selection, even though I didn't have quarterback because of the Zach Wilson signing. Really like the player in Ewers, and he's going to get a shot. I don't think they're going to give him a shot to go after the backup position, but depending on how many they keep, which given to his injury history, I think they should keep 3. So he should make the team. Unless undrafted Brett Gabbert beats Ewers out. That would be a storyline. Anything else on the draft here, Colin?
The Kenneth Grant pick, like you said, made too much sense. He's a dog. You gotta protect Tua. Just injuries. So I don't hate the 2nd round pick. Secondary probably more important, maybe. But I think when you factor Tua's injuries and just how he plays the game, you kind of just gotta always protect him. Ollie Gordon doesn't make sense at all. But I guess if he's there in the 6th, you take him. I guess that's their logic behind it.
Yeah, I mean value, I guess. Um,
And I like Ewers. I like that pick. I think that's fun. I think that's a fun pick.
yeah, I mentioned I liked the D tackles. I think 2 would have been okay. Um, the Biggers pick, which again, I really enjoyed watching Zeke Biggers at Tech, but at the same time, I thought maybe used another pick on a corner.
Yeah, that would make a little bit of sense, but I mean, are they really going to trade Ramsey though? And like, what are they going to get for him?
I don't know.
You'd almost think they're not gonna. After looking at this, you're just thinking to keep the guy, let him hang out in Miami for a little bit, play some decent football, and we'll keep on going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you want to do. Anthony Weaver, I believe, the DC there. Fit schedule here at the Colts week 1, home against the Pats, at the Bills Thursday night, home against the Jets Monday, at the Panthers, home against the Chargers, at the Browns, at the Falcons, home against the Ravens Thursday night, home against the Bills, home against the Commanders. That is in Madrid. Week 12 bye, so a little bit later than midseason, but not bad. Home against the Saints, at the Chargers, at the Steelers Monday night, home against the Bengals Sunday night, home against the Bucks, at the Patriots. I think it's doable. I think there are people that think this Dolphins team is going to be pretty bad for some reason. I think they're going to have a lot of shootouts because of the secondary that we've talked about. But if Tua is healthy, I mean, this is one of the best offenses in the league. So, and they're not facing a very difficult schedule. I mean, the hardest teams are going to be the Bills, the Chargers, the Ravens, the Commanders, the Steelers, Bengals, Bucks. That's a hard one. It's a hard 3 at the end there. Steelers, Bengals, Bucks, back to back to back. But it's a very doable schedule.
And then finishing it out in Foxborough though in the cold, that's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, and that might be for a playoff spot. I mean, I think the Patriots are going to be in the thick of it.
I agree. I like the direction the Patriots are going again. I like Drake May.
Yeah, Vrabes is a good coach. My goodness, David Peterson walking people galore. But yeah, I don't see why this Finn's team shouldn't be a playoff team based off what I'm seeing on the schedule. So I forgot to grade the draft here. You don't have to give one if you don't want, Colin, but I am going to go for Miami's draft. I'm going to go a C plus.
I was teetering C plus B minus. Like it could have been better, but they did a decent job.
Well, it's the lack of picks early, only 2 in the first 4 rounds, and then the guard versus corner in the second round, I think, was a big issue for me as well. And like I said, the third D tackle versus a corner, I think, is a big thing also.
I really just like the Kenneth Grant pick. That's a really good pick.
I'm writing you down for C plus as well.
Ooh, man, I don't know, Rusty. I'm only counting like 5 wins through week 10.
Yeah.
I got to win in the first 2 weeks. Week 4 too. The win week 4. I think Carolina's going to be sneaky. I think Carolina's just going to. They might put BTA.
Yeah, maybe. All right, let's go to the Steelers here. Off-season losses, a lot. They lost a ton. QB Justin Fields went to the Jets. QB Kyle Allen to the Lions. QB Russell Wilson to the Giants. Running back Najee Harris to the Chargers. Wide receiver Mike Williams to the Chargers. Wide receiver George Pickens traded to the Cowboys. Wide receiver Van Jefferson went to the Titans. Tight end Michael Pruitt is a free agent. Offensive tackle Dan Moore Jr. to the Titans. Guard James Daniels went to the Dolphins. Guard Nate Herbig to the Commanders. Defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi to the Bills. Defensive tackle Montravius Adams is a free agent, as is edge rusher Preston Smith. Linebacker Landon Roberts to the Raiders. Linebacker Tyler Matakevich is a free agent. Corner Dante Jackson went to the Chargers. Corner Cam Sutton, CJ Henderson are both free agents. Corner Ryan Watts had to medically retire, 2024 sixth rounder. And then safety DeMonte KZ went to the Browns. So that was a lot.
It was quite a bit, but not a ton of significant losses.
Yeah, I didn't like the Ogunjobi release, but it makes more sense now that he's suspended. The Roberts one as well. He was
that
very
guy
good
for our
run
defense.
Very good stuffer.
He was a locker room guy too. You could just tell when Landon was around, that team was better.
Yeah, and I always talk about too the losses in mass at a position, and it's wild. 3 QBs. You look at 4 corners gone as well. Pittsburgh is another team that I have concerns on the corner position heading into the season. So, sorry. All right, Colin, you can talk. Give me a sec.
Gotcha. I'm okay with losing Justin Fields. I wasn't really thinking he was going to be that guy. Ogunjobi is a big loss. Preston Smith makes sense why we let him go. Added him late in the season for depth last year, and it just didn't really pan out to begin with. I am a big fan of that Aaron Rodgers signing. I think that could be fun for the offense. Get the ball thrown around a lot. A lot of different fields. I like the Kenneth Gainwell signing. Jalen Warren re-signing too. Warren runs hard. Gonna be a nice little 1-2 punch with Caleb Johnson.
All right, buddy. We gotta roll real quick here. So yeah, y'all can see the free agent signings here. I thought it was pretty solid. I love the Jalen Warren selection. Obviously, A-Rod. DK getting him from Seattle was big time, and then they traded Pickens. Defensively, I wasn't as impressed. Eccles is a pretty solid nickel there. Love the Cole Holcomb re-signing and the defensive, the edge rushers, Loudermilk and Moon, backup edge rushers there. Draft, Was kind of surprised at D tackle. Again, I wanted corner. QB is my number one need, but I was thinking corner in round one. Caleb Johnson, I am okay with that in the third round. Again, I thought corner. They didn't go corner until the seventh, but a guy I don't know a lot about, Kent. Really like the Will Howard selection. You had to do it in the sixth. Jack Sawyer's a Pittsburgh kind of guy. Yaya Black's a high energy guy as well. Bruner, I don't think will make the roster with what they have at linebacker. But he's a good special teams guy as well, potentially. Filled the top three needs, did not get OT depth, safety, or wide receiver, or a punter. I had running back as my last need, so, they got Johnson, but which I think they needed now, but I think I had running back as last need with the potential of Najee re-signing anyways. When I got the Steelers draft, I'm probably gonna go with a B minus.
You can throw me down for a B plus.
Yeah, just because they only filled three of my top five needs there. At the Jets, home against the Seahawks. At the Patriots, home against the Vikings in Dublin. Week 5 bye, home against the Browns. At the Bengals Thursday night, home against the Packs. Sunday night, home against the Colts. At the Chargers Sunday night, home against the Bengals. At the Bears, home against the Bills. At the Ravens, home against the Dolphins. Monday night, at the Lions. At the Browns, home against the Ravens. Very difficult schedule. I mean, Steelers are going to go 9-8, right?
Per usual.
Yeah, it's a very difficult schedule. I would not be surprised if they go 9-8 and potentially miss the playoffs, but we'll see what A-Rod we get this year.
He does have I forget what incentive built into his contract, but it's fairly team oriented. It's a Super Bowl. If he wins a Super Bowl, he gets like a good amount of money. But
Yeah, we'll see. Next week, summer week 3, Cardinals Bucks offseason recap. Our second to last offseason recap before we transition into preseason and season previews, both NFL and college. So we'll get you that recap, and then before you know it, we'll be in training camp. So don't forget to follow us on all social media at FA Podcast, Instagram and X, FA_bets on X as well. FApodcast.com is our website. Check us out here on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. And we will see y'all back on Monday. Broncos, Colts, season recap.